G'day, Stu here from UAVfutures, and today, well, it's time for our weekly question and answer video, and I've decided that I'm going to do these on Sundays because they're the best days that work for me, and most Sundays anyway, I'm out flying all day trying to smash through like 40 or 50 packs, just a ton of lipos. And I might have learned something new as well that I can share with you guys, so this is going to be the perfect opportunity to answer some of your questions and I guess share even more knowledge that aren't actually like video specific or reviews or builds or something like that. Now in this segment, pretty much what I do, I go through and I look at last week's comments and I answer any question that you guys have in there. So if you've got some questions for this week's episode, or if you've got some questions for the next episode after this one, drop them in the comments below so I can go through them and find the best ones and hopefully answer those and give you some insight or maybe just some things that you want to know about. And also, if you see someone else's question in there and you think, gee, I'd really like to know that too, make sure you give that little question a thumbs up because there's a lot of questions in here. There's like over 250 comments in this video that I want to sort of scroll through and have a look, and I'm going to be trying to pick out the best ones. So make sure if you find something that you want to know the answer to, make sure you give that a thumbs up as well. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's jump in and see what you guys want to know. This one's from the Shire, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce anybody's names or anything like that. The Shire FPV, if you had to pick just 3 quads off the wall, what would be your pick? Now, for me, there's 2 easy ones because I would definitely be taking 2 5-inches out. So I'd be taking the GT2 because that's an absolute power horse, like a total beast, but a little bit more temperamental as well. And I'd probably also be taking out the Firehawk that I did a review of as well because that one is just still very, very quick, a little bit heavier, but oh so smooth, like buttery smooth when it's flying around. And then I guess if I could only have 3 quads, I wouldn't want another 5-inch because I've got those 2. So I'd probably go the other end, and it'd either be, if I could fix up like a 3D owl, that'd make it a little bit better, probably that. But I'd probably say the next X3. So the X3 is an awesome little 3-inch frame that's still a little powerhouse as well. Okay, here's a good one. So this one's from Sylvester. Why have you never flied or builded? I think, yeah, why have I never flown or built a KISS setup? And that's basically because I've never really had too much experience with them. I would love to test them out, and I would love to get to know that sort of KISS stuff because they've got some great ideas in there, and it just comes down to I haven't really had the chance. So that opportunity hasn't crossed my bench yet. Cameron wants to know how long have I been flying, and I'd say it's coming up on about 2 years. So 2 years into this hobby and absolutely loving it. Like I can't wait for the next 10 years of flying around because I feel like this is something that's going to be with me for the rest of my life pretty much. Alright, here's a good question from Ashley. Do you think that HD real-time FPV video is a requirement for the racing to become a real spectator sport? And I would probably say yes. For it to become a real spectator sport, absolutely. Because if you go out and you watch those drones flying around, look, they look cool, but you can't really, especially if you're sitting a fair way away, they're going to look really, really small. So absolutely, for it to become a main spectator sport, I definitely think that you'd need some HD streaming right there. Oh, here's a good one that'll be great for beginners. This one's from Dylan. Why do you prefer beta flight over clean flight? Well, for me, and I'm going to say statistically out of any quad that I've built in my experience and all my friends that I fly with, and there might be some clean flight people out there who disagree, but I think flight has a much smoother default setting. You can put it on and things are just ready to rock and roll. So I'm a massive advocate of beta flight. And look, clean flight was good, but that technology seems a bit old, or the code is a little bit behind, and I think beta flight's where it's at. But I would like to try race flight and KISS as well. Okay, here's a good question from Jasper. Where am I from, and will I ever do a fan fly day? You know what, this is something that I do kind of dream about. So maybe like if I could get 100K subs or something like that, I would love to put on like an annual, I guess, a Futures Fest or something, kind of like how there's Flight Fest and things like that, where people could just come and fly and just have a good time, talk FPV, check out some different builds, and just, I guess, share the hobby and build something for the community. Obviously, that would take massive organization, but absolutely, I would love to do that. But it's in Australia as well, so there'd be a lot of people, I think, in the US who wouldn't be able to make that trip down. Christopher, any tips on moving from auto level mode to, I guess, acro mode? Yep. Just hit acro mode, turn it on, don't focus too much on anything else, and if you want to do, I can use a little quad, here's a good example. So if you want to practice, if you're flying around and you want to stop auto leveling, turn on acro mode, but when you're flying, just concentrate on going forward, so just keeping it there and then just turning, because in my experience, and look, this gives me an idea, I might do some videos about some little flight tips and stuff, and I do have one on acro mode, so go check that out as well. But if you're trying to hover in acro mode, that's when things get a little bit more sketchy. So keep that forward momentum, and that's probably my biggest tip for learning acro mode anyway. Oh, someone said, are you single? And thanks for that other comment, nope, he's married.
Hey, who said that?
Wife's getting jealous. Now I really like this question here. This one from Rees Fear Point Park. Look, I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I did, but you've got a fantastic question, and it's how to get into quad racing and how long did it take you to master flying? Well, I don't think I've mastered flying at all, but I definitely know that there's a point when it clicks, and that's when you stop stressing about FPV and you actually start living it. Not living it. I feel like I live it, but you actually start just enjoying it for what it is. You're not freaking out about crashing all the time, and the quad is just like another extension or an expression of yourself. So there's definitely a moment when it clicks. So I guess for me, it probably took about maybe a month or maybe like 40 batteries until I can remember I was having this flight, and it was towards the end of my sessions, and this is way back before I did any videos or anything like that. And I went up early one morning and I put the goggles on, I was flying around, it was all real sketchy, and look, looking back now, it was terrible flights. But there was this moment when I had this run and there was these couple of trees that I could chase down, and it just, like, I can remember feeling free. Like, that part felt awesome. And then once I got used to that and I was practicing, that part was really fun. So I would probably say maybe, yeah, 40 to 50 lipos, and you'll be feeling much, much more confident in the air anyway, and sort of getting flying. And what more... And how did I get into quad racing? That's kind of a bit crazy. Like, I think I was sort of looking for something to do with my life. I used to play a ton of video games, and I decided that wasn't something that I really wanted to invest so heavily time-wise anymore into, because I was pumping a heap of time into them. And so I quit that, and then I was just sort of watching some YouTube, and at the same time I got a little helicopter gift one, or I saw someone with a really cheap little like 2-blade helicopter one, and I was like, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean. But so a little helicopter, and I was flying that around, and then I got a Hubsan, like a toy grade one, and then it just progressed. Like, it just snowballed. The bug bit me so hard, and then I found myself on Banggood, and I was ordering like FPV gear, and I just dove into the deep end, and I bought a Tyrannus straight away. I bought like an Emax Nighthawk and built like a proper racing quad and ordered 10 batteries, and actually I think I had 5 batteries to start with, and that felt like a lot back then, 5 3S batteries. And yeah, it just like snowballed from that one YouTube video. It changed my whole life. So maybe that's what my videos might do for some people. Let me know if that was you, because maybe that's happening to you. You've watched some of my videos, and maybe it can come full circle, and who knows, maybe one day you guys might be making, I guess, sick YouTube videos. Not that mine are sick, but your videos might be really good about, you know, FPV or something that you're really into. Maddie, you want to know what gates do I use and why? I use Trevor's, and that's because he bought them and I don't have any. So that's a simple question. I'll fly through any gate, any gap, I guess. It doesn't matter whose it is. I don't think any are better than the others, really. Look, I've got an how to make them out of $5 video. That was my first ever video. Really, I just want a gap to fly through. So don't be concerned about what sort of gate you fly through. If you can get a cheap one, grab that and start practicing, because gates for me make a course so much more fun. How many frames have you smashed? That's from Rapid Danes. And I broke an Emax arm one time on my very first quad. I broke a few things on that. And then I've been really lucky, maybe a ZMR arm back in the day, but I'm not sure about that one. And it was only recently that I snapped one of the twig arms, those like ultra thin racing arms. So I'm gonna have to get some replacements for that. So I haven't smashed too many builds actually. From Radash Dawabish, sorry man if I butchered your name, but what do you think of the Turnigy Evolution now after using it all this time? Look, I don't think I've turned on my Tyrannus for a little while since I've had that thing. I know Trevor's switched over, he was flying it, he's like 50-50 because he's in the process of converting all his, and another mate, Pezzy D with a B, he's also got one as well. So look, all of us in the crew that I fly with are massive fans of the Evolution. Just so light and easy and feels so good in radio. I can't see myself really going back to the Tyrannus. I do want to keep it though, because look, I know it runs some awesome scripts, and you can do a whole bunch of cool telemetry and a whole bunch of cool programming stuff. But for me, what I do, just smash out those laps on the track, the Evolution is fantastic. I think the Tyrannus will be good though if I ever start looking at wings and some other FPV things and stuff like that. I'll definitely need something a little bit more feature packed, and that's when the Tyrannus will come back into its own again. Taylor Wadey, how many is enough quads? Never. You can never have enough. My wife probably thinks that, you know, this is enough, but no, to be honest, she's great. But yeah, you can never have too many. She just grunted in the background. The Couscous is saying, you sound Australian, but I was confused because you've been using US pricing in your vids. And this is a really good question, and this one comes up all the time. And basically the answer is 90% of my viewers are international, and I'm trying not to think about just my specific situation, but reaching as many people as I can and sharing this FPV with them. And basically, the US dollar is so common for a lot of people out there. It's so familiar and really easy to convert to. So that's why, even though I'm Australian, I do say things in US dollars, and that's basically just to help my international audience out there. Because if I said, like, you know, it was 20 Australian dollars, I know a lot of people would be jumping on their computers and would have no idea how much that is. Okay, Jake in Wales says, can you make a video of you just saying, "G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here and today," or just make a small clip in the Q&A where you say that 5 times? Maybe I'll put that at the end of this video, because I know a ton of people, I get a bit of hate about that message, so some people might tune out, but I'll see if I can stick that at the end of the video for you Jakey Whale. DJI68 Movies, he's got kind of a different one, and this is more, I guess, about the FPV scene and the pilots in it, and it says, here's a question: as we watch the FPV scene develop, it's kind of weird, as if some of the more prominent pilots are getting a bit lost in their own celebrity and becoming super obnoxious. It's okay, they feel the pressure, whatever. I try to be cool with them, but it's really hard because they're privileged, like Sterling Archer. You, however, are super mellowed and upbeat. Thanks, man. What's your secret? Can I buy it? That's my question to you. How you so chilled? Respect and peace. Radio. And I'd probably say to that one is, and I did a little bit of a video on this, just be the change you want to see. So if, I don't know, when you say it's kind of hard and you try to be cool, if you don't like that, don't hang out with those people. Like, just hang out with the people that you want to hang out with. So if you're flying around some people that I guess are a little bit obnoxious or arrogant or something like that, you know, if that's the crew that you want to hang around with and that's sort of the way you want to act, that's fine. For me, I just want to have a good time and enjoy flying FPV and share it with as many people as I can, which is why I do these videos. So I'd probably say, just be the change that you want to see, you know, and don't judge those people. Everybody's different, but for me, I find I just want to have fun, fly around, hang out with my mates and have a good time and share it with you. So, and it's pretty easy to be chilled with this stuff. Like, we're playing with really cool video quad toys that fly around really fast and do really cool stuff. Like, how can you not have fun when you're flying around with these? Hey man, how do you balance quad time with Mrs. time to keep the peace at home? And this one's from Glenn169, and this one is a really good one. And to be honest, I'm really lucky because my wife is so supportive. She's fantastic. She's also pregnant at the moment, and it's still amazing how supportive she is of UAVfutures. And really, I think it just comes down to, I've got a little poster up there, and it's just got some priorities I've got written down. And for me, it's all about family first. And it definitely can be to get a bit testing sometimes when I'm trying to edit videos, fix builds, and then juggle the rest of my work life and my family life and all that sort of stuff. And I think for me, what I've found that works really well for me is I do a ton of this stuff after dark, late nights. That's when I get a lot of my work done. So maybe from like 10 or 11 at night till 1 or 2 in the morning. That's when I find I'll be answering comments or editing videos or fixing builds or something like that. So really, at the moment, the way that things are going, I've just been cutting out on a bit of sleep. So for me, it's been late nights because I don't think I could do it. Because I don't think I could do it at the same rate if I got those full nights sleep anyway. Because it takes up it's such a big part of my life. And it takes up so much time, but at the same time, I don't want that to come out of my family life. I still really value that, and that's the thing that's most important to me. So yeah, it's a really fine balancing act, and everybody's going to be different, of course, but that's how I do mine. I do a lot of my work late at night trying to smash out these videos. My wife just said all day. Jamie Buxton says, basically I'm paraphrasing here, but he wants to know, can I do a live stream? I've seen some others doing live stream RC content, and responses from people have been great. Just a thought. Yeah, totally. I'd love to do some live streaming stuff. I think in the future, as this channel grows, I want to open up more and more options and things that I'm doing on this channel, and definitely live streaming them is up there. That's something that I think would be really cool to sort of stream it live and engage, sort of like these things, and doing this live with you guys out there. Awesome question from Brian Rideout. What goes into designing a challenging race course? And this is something, look, learning to fly is a skill, and so is designing a track. It just takes practice. I know every single weekend that I'm out there, I'm looking at trees and picking gaps and finding out where lines will be before I'm even flying. Like, that's just the way my mind's wired now. And I guess I get out to the field, I look around, I look at the natural features that we actually have. I have a video somewhere on one of my Happy Flying episodes on what goes into designing a good track. But yeah, basically look at the natural features that you have. Make sure that it's not too technical, and I really like a flowing course that flows really well, that's a nice balance between skill and speed. I don't like those stop-start sort of ones. And don't make it too difficult, because you'd be surprised how small those gaps get once you put the goggles on. You might think, yeah, I can fly through that. Goggles on, that gap seems a whole lot smaller, so don't make it too technical. Alright, from Loopy Fruit, there you go. This has become one of my favourite channels. You're always upbeat and you look like you're really enjoying the hobby. Well, that's easy, because I totally am. For someone who's just starting out, what would you recommend besides a quad to learn how to fly, acro, simulators, etc.? Alrighty, definitely jump in straight into acro mode and also get the sim. So if you get like, I can't remember where it is now, but if you get the Turnigy Evolution, plug that into a sim, either Hot Props, FPV Freerider. I think, yeah, Freerider's got a free demo. Hot Props is free. There's some other ones out there too that you can pay for. And even if they don't feel realistic, but just get on and get some stick time, because a really famous pilot once said, and his name was Matty Stunts, that about an hour on the simulator was equivalent for his practice anyway of 40 batteries, and he definitely knows what he's talking about. So yeah, I would say biggest tip, get on the sim if you're new and just start off in acro straight away, and before you know it, you'll actually you'll learn to fly, and the sim might even feel a little bit harder. You'll get out to the field, fly around and think, gee, this is actually easier than on the computer. I know that's how it feels for me anyway. What spare parts should you have at any given time in a crash, in case you crash your drone, as far as ESCs, motors, flight controllers, frame plates, etc.? Excuse me, my voice is running out. That's from Nick Ali. And basically my situation's a little bit different, because I just seem to take out spare quads, so not so much spare parts. Like today I took out 5 quads to fly around. But I do always have, so you've always got a few little tools like your shifters and screwdrivers and things. Always have standoffs, screws, nuts and bolts. And then I really wouldn't take an ESC out or anything like that, because that's a whole lot more work, and you probably need a soldering iron and those sorts of things. And look, that might be alright for you, but for me, I don't want to be fixing my build too much in the field. If it's broken, I'm just going to fix it at home and do it properly. If I was really stuck and I was going camping, yeah, then I might take some of that stuff, but for most of the time, I just fly around with it. Basically build a backup quad, that's a good idea. Build a backup quad, and then you don't have to take too much, rather than screws and standoffs and those sorts of things. Lazy FPV, totally agree. Question, when will you punch these quads through a speed gun? And I like your spelling there. But basically, when I can get one, I would love to rip some of these things around, like especially the GT2. Like the Twig's quick, but it's currently broken. But the GT2 still astounds me just how fast that thing is going. So I would love to be punching that round a speed gun. Yiming Tang, to whoop or not to whoop? Your dream quad, amount of packs you fly in a session. Okay, basically they're all really good questions. So to whoop or not to whoop, I just did a little video with a tiny whoop, and that's actually sitting over there. And I really liked it, but I've got so many choices and so many options, I guess, and it's summertime here for me in Australia, so I'm getting out every single opportunity. I mean, it's like, I don't know what the time is now, it's 7:30 now and it's still very bright outside, but even up to like 9 o'clock I was flying the other time, and it's just like daylight at that time at night as well. So yeah, I'm currently flying the bigger quads. My dream quad, you know what, I feel like I've already got them. I feel like these quads here, you know, I'm getting to taste all the stuff that is, I guess, the best of the best at the moment as far as I'm concerned, and the sort of the tech and those sorts of things. So I can't imagine them any better. I would love to test out some HD FPV. That would be really cool as well once that gets a little bit more refined. The amount of packs I fly in a session, that I want to fly in a session, probably 40. That I actually do fly in a session, probably about 20. So I find myself discharging and, I guess, discharging a few of my batteries, which always feels a little bit sad. But yeah, probably between 20 to 30 batteries is how many I'd like to fly on a good session. Okay, what would you do if your wife said enough of this? So that's from Simon No Way Train. Look, I butchered that name, but you know who you are. But if my wife said, okay, enough of this, what would you do? I feel like I'd have to do something creative. Like, this is, for me, the first time in my life where these things, like, this is a really hard question because I don't know what I'd do, but it would have to be something creative where I could problem solve, maybe like something in engineering or some sort of racing. I don't know, because this industry, I was never really into this stuff. I just sort of not fell into it, but just started doing it. But I've never been so passionate about something like this. So if she said you can't do something like this, I'd probably find the closest thing to this and then start doing that. Okay, this one's a really good technical one. Lachlan Peck Nice. Okay, sorry about, I'm really terrible at these names, but what's your favorite mini quad Moto KB right now? So that'd be the 22s, the 2205s, the 2206s, maybe the 23s. And I think in regards to the 5-inch prop, I really like 2300 kV because I feel like they can spin the prop the best and still be a little bit gentle, not gentle, but not totally destroy the batteries, because you can get some high kV batteries. And like when the Emax red bottom motors came out, they had the 2205s, 2600 kV motors, and I just felt like that inefficiency of there, it was just draining the batteries too much. And you'd punch it, but you'd notice the sag a little bit, even with some of the best batteries out there. So for me, I think the best ones out there are around the 2300 kV mark. That's my favorite anyway. Some other pilots probably have some different opinions, but that's just how I feel. Alrighty, Project Gaming, and I've seen this guy a few. I just want to give a shout out to him, so thanks for putting a comment in, because I know I've seen you quite a bit on my videos. Anyway, but he says, what is it you like to do other than racing quadcopters? So this takes up so much of my time, but I think I like hanging out with my family and my dog and those sorts of things. That's something that, you know, I do a lot. But before this also, I used to do a little bit of sports. I like playing soccer, and before that, I think I used to waste, I'm going to say the word waste, a ton of time basically sinking that into video games. So yeah, that's kind of what I like to do other than racing. But now I feel like I don't have too much spare time because I'm always working on this, or if it's not that, it's just normal family stuff. Rightio, so I just got to the bottom of those and I've read out most of the questions that I wanted to. Don't forget, if you want some questions for next week, leave them in this comment of this video. And if you could hit the thumbs up button, that goes a long way to helping the channel out, and that sort of goes to all my videos, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, definitely, if you see another comment on this video as well, you think, that's a great question, I want to know that, hit the thumbs up button for that. And that, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned, because we've got a ton more stuff coming on the channel, so subscribe for more FPV related content. And as always, happy flying. G'day, Stu here from UAVfutures, and today, 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 g'day, Stu here from UAVfutures, and today. There we go, that's for you, Jakey, that was 5. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page, because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAVfutures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.